Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the Sunday services at Center for Spiritual Living, Denver. We are a loving and prospering community in the heart of Denver and online. We now conduct hybrid services at the historic Grant Avenue Community Center and Sacred Place, located at 216 South Grant Street, Denver, Colorado. All are welcomed here. A place, space, and face of love. We are a spiritual community practicing universal principles that enrich our lives. We are grateful that you have blessed us with your presence. While online, we'd love to know you're watching with us. Feel free to leave a comment and let everyone appreciate you. With everything going on, life can feel overwhelming. CSL Denver wants you to know we are here for you. Please know that our practitioners are available for personal prayer work. Our licensed spiritual practitioners' names and phone numbers are available on our website at csldenver.org. Or if you have a prayer request, feel free to email it to info@csldenver.org. For your convenience, you'll find clickable links in the description of this broadcast. Rev. Elzia, along with all our guest speakers, practitioners, service coordinators, and musical inspirations, want you to know how truly grateful we are that you are with us today. Thank you for your continued support and participation in our services, workshops, and events, as well as providing financial contributions to our center. If you're interested in upcoming events and information, we send out weekly newsletters. Sign up by visiting www.csldenver.org. We deliver services in a hybrid format where we meet in person at 216 South Grant Street. We will also continue to live stream all services on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday. Find us on our respective channels as well as on New Thought Media Network. Again, thank you for your precious attention. Now prepare for engaging enlightenment.
There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, a beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true. A beautiful garden, that garden is you. Such a beautiful garden, that garden is you.
Good morning. I invite you to join me in an invocation. So if you feel comfortable, please sit back and close your eyes. And we just move into this space and this place called CSL Denver, this space where that divine beloved is always resting, waiting, holding each and every one of us. And so as we move into this service, absolutely knowing that we are a place of God. And this service is blessed. Reverend Elzia's words are blessed. All that it takes to make this service possible, we absolutely know is blessed. And each beloved person who has decided to show up today in person or online, just knowing that each and every one of them are just love, just that divine love. And we bless Reverend Elzia with his friend, and just knowing that we are all right where we're supposed to be. I'm so grateful for this time together. I'm so grateful for this teaching. I'm so grateful for CSL Denver and everybody who chooses to call it their spiritual home. And so from that place of deep, deep gratitude, I release this into that one mind, that one heart, knowing that all is well and it is done. And so it is. Amen. So my reading, I'm Alice Nutter, by the way. I did not introduce myself, so hello. It's a beautiful day and I'm so happy to see everybody in person. Anyway. So a reading is from Mike Robbins, who wrote the book, Be Yourself, Everyone Else is Taken. Why is it hard to be authentic? More important, why is it hard for you to be authentic? This isn't an accusation or a judgment. It's an important question. If we can ask and answer this question honestly, without judging ourselves, we're well on our way to becoming more of who we really are and ultimately more authentic. For me, being honest, real, and authentic in a vulnerable way is what I aspire to be in my life all the time. However, this is also something I find quite difficult and challenging to do in the day-to-day, moment-by-moment aspects of my life, my work, and my relationships. I'm often more interested, at least on the surface, in being liked, impressing people, and wanting to look good than I am in being real. I worry that if I really speak my truth, go for what I want, and let it all hang out, people won't like me. I will upset or offend them, or I won't be able to get what I truly want. Can you relate to this in your life? Many of us, myself included, get quite upset in a self-righteous way when we see, hear about, or experience other people being dishonest, phony, or simply withholding the truth. About that these days. However, do we do that ourselves? How often? We can be quite hypocritical when it comes to authenticity, expecting it from others all the time, but not doing, saying, or being totally authentic ourselves. This doesn't make us bad or wrong. It simply makes us human. Authenticity is challenging for most everyone I know, talk to, and work with. The more we can get in touch with our own personal difficulty with being authentic, the more willing and able we'll be to move past whatever stops us from being real. But first, we have to notice our own difficulty or resistance to authenticity with compassion and tell the truth about it. Shutting up and trying to fit in, as we all know from experience, doesn't really work, feel good, or lead us to anything meaningful or fulfilling in life. Doing this leads to resentment, frustration, and a lack of power in our lives, but is often easier for us to do than it is to confront our fear, speak our truth, and be fully authentic. Getting in touch with makes authenticity hard for us can give us access to a deeper place of truth within us and is the first step in becoming more real. And from the author Brené Brown, from her book, Gifts of Imperfection, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. And so it is. And now this week, this month of March, we have Robin Hackett as our guest musician. So we will be listening to her singing Certain People.
Good morning, everyone. This is Robin Hackett coming to you from New York City. So glad to be with you again. And I'd like to share an original tune with you called Certain People. Well, he walks like he knows every secret, and he talks like his life's on the line, and he never gives in to the contrary motion that leaves some of us spinning behind. And she stands with her boots pointed forward, and she finishes all that she starts. And she won't be content till she's one of those people whose arms reach on up for the stars. And certain people are not quite at home on the ground. And certain people never blend into a crowd. Certain people. And when he walks in a room with no windows, well, he carries in his own light, and it makes the world seem like there's nothing between what you want, what you make with your mind. And certain people are not quite at home on the ground. And certain people never blend into a crowd. Certain people, certain people. So I vowed to walk straight like an arrow, and I promise to speak like I know, 'cause I'm tired of being like all of the people, uncertain of where they could go. And certain people are not quite at home on the ground. And certain people never blend into a crowd. Certain people, yeah, certain people. Thank you.
Good morning, and welcome to CSL Denver, a place, a space, and a face of love. A community practicing universal principles to enrich our lives in the lives of others. Today, there's so much going on today. And first and foremost, I want to say Happy National Women's Month. Because it is the nurturing of the mothers, of the feminine principle, that really, in my mind, helps us launch this month's theme, which is cultivating authenticity. And no one cultivates better than a mother, or better than a woman, or the divine feminine principle. So I want to say that first and foremost. And then second, I'm really in a contemplative place, because just before the service started, I found out that my best friend passed away. So please hold me in light. So as we get to this moment right now, this moment where we realize, as the title says, everyone is already taken. Everyone is already taken. Now you may say, well, what does that mean? What does it mean that everyone is taken? That means that you are unique, that you are special, that you are divine, that you are here with a mission, a purpose that is uniquely yours. And as Robin just so eloquently articulated, are you one of those certain people? Is the real question. Are you one of those certain people who know who you are, who understands what you have to bring? Because we don't know for whom the bell tolls. We don't know. And we definitely don't know when. And so when I look around the world, and I'm always amazed at the tremendous diversity and variety of life. The colors, the sounds, the smells, the animals, this vast smorgasbord, if you will, of life and divine energy. And I'm especially intrigued by us humans, because we have the ability, God has given us the ability to take aspects, to take our nature from anything on planet. We can be like a rock. I'm sure some of y'all have either been like a rock. I know some people that have that rock character. They say, oh my God. Or we could be an animal. You know, we look at some of the traditional systems of worship, and they have totems where they look at certain animals as a sacred reminder of the spiritual energy that is available to us all. And so when we think about this whole thing about everyone else is taken, the question becomes, are you taking it seriously? Are you trying to be like somebody else? Now, it's okay to be inspired by someone, but I'm not supposed to be them. I can remember back in the early 80s in corporate America, and everybody looked alike, even the women. Everybody had the blue suits, the white shirts. The women had the little bow ties, and the men had the, you know. And it was like, I don't know what it was. It was scary, to be honest with you. Everybody tried to talk the same way with the same diction, and it's like, what is going on? But there's a reminder from the Bible in Psalms, the Psalms of David. David said this: for you created my innermost being. David is speaking with God. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearful and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know the full well. Now, if you know anything about David, David was eloquent with his words. David was reverent with his behavior, and he was someone who understood that he was unique, that he was one of a kind. And so he authentically presented himself. authentically presented itself. And then there's this verse out of Jeremiah, first chapter, 5th verse, that says this: behold, I formed you in the womb. I knew you before you were born. I consecrated you, meaning I made you sacred. I made you unique. I made you one of a kind to show my glory, to show who I am, to show that we are family together. And so when we think about all of this variety and all of these different things, and we begin to cultivate it, we really, really move forward with this idea. I want to bring up this slide here. There it is. And it says this: your soul belongs to the universe. Your mind is an outlet through which the creative intelligence of the universe seeks fulfillment. That's by Dr. Ernest Holmes in this book, This Thing Called You. And if you don't have that book, I would encourage you to get it. And if you have it and you haven't read it in a while, read it again. Because it opens the door to let us really begin to realize who we are, or the potential to be who we are, right? Because some of us, I'll hold my hand up first, are slacking. We're not being the best that we could be. We're not doing all that we can do. And of course, yeah, we got the excuses. Well, I'm tired. Well, I got to go to work. Well, this, that, the other, and the other thing. But God is always present. God is always, as they say, on the scene. So you don't have, if you believe, if you trust, if you believe that you are uniquely created, God will take care of that. And when you need to go to sleep, guess what you'll do? You're going to go to sleep. No doubt in my mind. When you are hungry, you will eat. And so to really move this forward, we have to ask the one premier question. Everybody ready? Because it's going to be a shocker. It's going to be a shocker. Do you know who you are? Do you really know? Not what your mother said, not what your father said, your mate, your job. What do you know inside of your heart of who you are? Because it's so easy to be swept up in the tide of popular demand, or swept up in what is immediately in front of you right now. But there's that saying that we're all familiar with. My wife don't like me to say that because sometimes people are not familiar, but I'm going to say it this time because I know everybody is familiar with this one. To know yourself is to know God. To know yourself is to know God. And so when you can step into that understanding, now you can begin to cultivate this authenticity because you have a relationship with God. You have a direct lineage to the divine intelligence that created all this diversity we talked about in the beginning, the colors, the sounds, the sights, the people. I don't need to ask you. I may ask you if I get weary, but I don't need to ask you. I can go directly, authentically, uniquely to God to find out what's mine to do, to find out who I am, how I should show up. And so when we are able to do that, we can avoid this statement by Emerson. Emerson said, to be an imitation is suicide. To be an imitation is suicide. That life is so vast, life is so great, God is so wonderful that I don't need to imitate anybody. Now, if we take a step back, we know that there will be similarities. Why? Because God said, I created each and every one of you, each and everything on this planet from my spirit. So there's a chord, there's a tone, there's a piece of us that is the same. That is the Spirit of God. So we will find these commonalities and these connections. But what you won't find is what I got, and I won't find what you got. You have to show that to me. I have to express that to myself, to you. Because when I can do that, then we can find our place in the grand dance of life. You know, there's that song, you know, dance with just total abandonment. Don't worry about who's watching. Don't worry about if you're off beat. You may not even hear the beat, but dance. It's that song that says, you know, I forget it. The line I love is that I hope you dance. If you this time around, I hope you dance, because that expresses your uniqueness, your authentic self. So when we look at cultivating authenticity, it's not about becoming something other than who you are, becoming someone else. It's about releasing all of the patterns and fears and all those things that are blocking the real you. That's blocking the real you. And you might say, well, I just said, you just asked me, did I know myself? Maybe I don't know myself. No. I gave you a cop out. I shouldn't have even done that. You know who you are. Deep down inside, when you're in the quiet, small moments of your day, you know exactly who you are. The question is, are you courageous enough to step forward with it? Are you willing to be in a space that allows you to really not, I could say something really nice, but with flavor and spice on it, but I'll say I won't. That you're really nice, that you really can give into it, right? Because when we're able to do that, we can step into this space that says courage is a heart word. The word of courage is cur, the Latin word for heart. In one of its earliest forms, the word courage meant to speak one's mind by telling all of one's heart. To speak one's mind by telling all of one's heart. Now, we've heard about the heart being the real brain of who we are. We have an institute right up the street here in Boulder called Heart Math that has done all kinds of research on the heart in terms of the neurons that are there and the intelligent cells that are there, and it can quantify that there is something in the heart that can move beyond anything you can imagine if we give into it, if we have the courage to let that what's in there come out. Do you have the courage? Do I have the courage? Well, to be honest, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But that's where we become our brothers and sisters keepers. We hold each other accountable. We demand that you be authentic, that you bring your true self to the table every day. Even if it's not the best you, we still just want you, right? There's a verse in the Quran, and I thought about this. My friend said this all the time. It's the 55th chapter called El-Rahman, which is the mercy, verse 61. And it says, which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? Which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? What gifts that God has given you? What understanding that God has given you? What are the things that you will deny? And he would always say it, and he said, I'm not going to deny none. I want to express all of them. I want to embrace all of them. So I encourage each and every one of us today to do that. Think about which of the favors of your Lord are you denying? And embrace them. And embrace them. And so as we step into this idea of divine cultivation, I say, or this divine process of being authentic, there's three things I want to leave you with. Three things. The first thing is practicing awareness. Practicing awareness. Now, you might ask, well, What am I supposed to be aware of? Anything, everything, all things. Pick one. The thing is to be aware. You can learn from the wind that's blowing in the trees. It can remind you of something of yourself and allow it to wake up so that you can begin to offer it to the world. My father used to catch me off guard sometime and say he's going to the movies. Say, yeah, I'm getting ready to go to the movies. My dad didn't go to movies. And I said, what movie are you going to see? He said, oh, I'm just going to go to the mall and sit down and watch all the people. That was his movie, to watch all of the antics that people did and all of the side conversations. And somehow that gave him an awareness of himself. He could see himself in different people, different things, different, going ons in the mall. So we have to begin to practice awareness, and that means watching and observing everything. Because when we can do that, we can tune in to that subtle spirit that's in everything. We can quiet our mind, if we can put aside our egos, if we can stop thinking about ourselves for just one moment. What I didn't get, what I didn't need. Not that you don't need them, but it keeps you from being your authentic self because you're caught up in stuff that's not tapping you into the divine. God will take care of us. We don't have to worry about that. What we should be worried about is, are we delivering the gifts that God has given us? So if we can do this one thing, practice awareness, that'll get us way down the road. Way down the road. Now, the second thing, all these are hard. They sound easy, don't they? But I'm looking here at this thing. I'm to myself. I'm like, man, it's kind of hard. The second thing is to embrace compassion and belief. Now, that sounds nice, right? Oh, be compassionate and show love. That's a hard thing to do. Somebody makes me sick. I don't want to show them nothing. Definitely not compassion. But when we can do that, when we can step into this idea of compassion, of having a direct connection, because again, remember, we all have the Spirit of God. So there's always that way to feel that compassion, that spirit within each and every one of us that's not vibrating at the highest level. But when we can practice this compassion and believe that it makes a difference, faith is believing in the unseen things. Nobody in here does not believe in electricity. Nobody in here does not believe in gravity. Nobody in here does not believe in aerodynamics. Y'all are going to get on a plane sometime this summer. You're going to go home and cut your lights on, and nobody's going to float up off the planet when they get up out these chairs. But none of us has ever seen those things with our physical eye. No one has seen gravity or electricity or aerodynamics. But we believe. And just like we believe in those, we have to believe in the power of compassion. Believe in the power of being authentic. Because that's what we're here for. Brother Eddie sung so well at the very beginning, the garden. That's what we are. We are a garden, and we need to be uniquely and authentically everything we are so that we have a bountiful garden. And so once we can practice awareness, and once we can embrace compassion and belief, the next thing that we have to do, the last thing that we have to do is step into courage. It's to step into courage. And we just did the little part there about the heart, but the challenge with that courage is you have to be vulnerable. To be courageous, you got to be vulnerable. I mean, I got to put myself out there. Now, we've all been put out there one way or another, I'm sure, and we might not have enjoyed it. But I can tell you this, if you yourself have brought yourself forward, even if it was uncomfortable, even if you were afraid, once you were on the spot, a whole new spirit took over. A whole new light began to shine when you were vulnerable enough to be authentic and to speak your word and to be the example of God that each and every one of us are. And so it's impossible not to see what's hidden. Right? If you want to be courageous, that means you can't hide. You can't hide behind fear. You can't hide behind guilt. You can't hide behind good enoughs or any of those other things that keep us from showing up. You can't hide. Everywhere you go, God is right there. Everywhere you go, more importantly, you are there. So even when you think you hide, you're not hiding. You know where you are. You ain't. You know exactly where you are. And so we have to begin to do that every day with ourselves, to practice awareness. Understand what it means to be compassionate and believe in something. And then we have to be courageous enough and vulnerable enough on it to be it. So that when people look at us, and I'm sure, again, I'm going to say that magic word, I'm sure everybody has had this. Someone comes in your presence and you say, there's something about that person. Now, it could be so-called good or so-called bad, but I'm sure we've all had the experiences where we felt something about someone else and all they did was come into the presence. That's what we have the ability to do for good, for humanity, when we are in tune with the Most High God and can be authentic. So I want to close with this. God has made each of us special and unique. He's created us in amazing ways and made it possible for us to contribute to the glory and oneness of life. We have been given something that is special, that no one else has to offer. Rather than making us arrogant or afraid or any of these other things that make us play small, we should take this knowledge as a push in the back to step forward, as a push in the back to say, I am here, ready, willing, and able, because we are children of the Most High God. And my dear friend, I don't know him, but I like him as a friend. Dr. Young said this: the privilege is to become who you truly are. Not a gift, not a privilege. That's something totally different. Because how many people leave this place as there's a quote by Emerson says, when I go, I want to be just a little puff of powder over in the corner. I want to be all used up. I don't want to leave nothing behind. That's what we should be striving to do. Leave nothing behind. Don't make excuses. Don't get lazy, because we have a lot to do. And you know, Lord works in mysterious ways. As I was getting ready to come here this morning, not knowing anything about my friend and any of that, a song came on my Spotify. You know, you have the around, it just pop up on you. There was a song that said, I don't know what you come to do. Did anybody remember that song? If you're from the church, I don't know what you come to do. I don't know what. I come to clap my hands. I come to stomp my feet. I come to sing my song. I come to do my dance. I don't know what you come to do. That's what you should be saying every day. Every day. What did you come here to do? Sing, dance, write, whatever it is. And when we can sing that song and do that dance and clap those hands, life will be authentically cultivated, and you will really understand the concept that everyone else is already taking. And so as we prepare to take that into our heart this week, as always, you know, if you know me by now, you got to have some action. You got to do some work, because this is not, we want to get inspired and then we want to have inspired work. So there's 4 things. I normally I only have 2. And I was inspired to put 4. So pick one, anyone. But the first one says, write down the strength God has given you and give thanks for them. Write your strength down and give thanks for them. The second one is, what are some of the life experiences that have helped shape you? What are some of the experiences that have helped shape you into who you are today? To recognize the gifts that you already know and give you some courage to bring those out that you're working on. The third thing, what does authenticity look and feel like for you? And what practices can help you access and cultivate it? And last but not least, find an authenticity accountability partner. Now I got to find a new one. But that's okay. I know he's still here. And so with that, we have our affirmation for this week. And it says this: I love and accept myself exactly as I am. I love and accept myself exactly as I am. So with that, let's go into prayer. Seeking the honor and glory of God. That divine spirit, that animating aspect of the entire universe, that allows each and every one of us to be uniquely who we are. That energy that woke us up this morning and reminded us that there's work to be done. Life is moving. Are you cultivating? Are you weeding? Are you watering your life? Are you saying things that inspire, or are you tearing down? Because cultivation is about upliftment and taking things away that are no longer needed. And so as we begin this month of cultivating authenticity, of really knowing who we are, we begin to look at our lives and we begin to say, am I true to who I am? We know that God is available. We know that all of the divine intelligence is right where we are. And so I declare right here, right now, for each and every one of us here in person and online, that today we will be courageous, i.e., we will be vulnerable enough to step into our true self. We will allow God to be on the front, the back, the right, and the left to guide us, to protect us, to hold us, so that we remember what we came here to do. And so as we allow that energy, that spirit to move all over our body, all over our affairs, all over our relationships, we begin to create a world that works for all. And so I just give thanks for this moment, for this time, for this spirit of life we all have right here, right now. And so it is, and I know that there is nothing and no place where God is not. And there is nothing, absolutely everything can be done by God. And so with that, I release, I let go, and I know that it is so. And so it is. Amen. And so it is. Amen. Well, it is that time in the service where it's offertory, and we are so grateful for everyone that's here. For your time, your talent, your treasures. It is, we were talking this morning when we were setting up for service and remembering the days when you could do it online, and we were saying, boy, that was so easy, wasn't it? And now it's a blessing and a challenge to be in person every Sunday. But we're here, we're committed to be here so that we can get this message of life out to get this Spirit of God moving in all of our affairs. And so we thank you for your time, treasure, and talents, especially as we begin to revamp, if you will, or recultivate our center. And so if you look at the bottom of the screen, or you'll see the many different ways you can give. And notice that we have a new text to give number, that's 616-441-0689. But you can go to the website and click the donate button. You can text to give. You can send a check or money order. All that information is there or on the website. But however you do, we thank you. And so in our customary way, if you place your hand on your heart, if it feels comfortable, and repeat our affirmation, this perfect gift is spirit informed, circulating and blessing all that it touches. Freely I give, and joyously I receive, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Elzia. Good talk. I'm going to look for an authenticity accountability partner. So as we usually mention, if you would like to hear some good news of the world to affirm the good in the world, we have a link on our Facebook page called And Now the Good News. This program is put together by New Thought Media Network and airs on Fridays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, or you can watch these anytime during the week. Just go to the Center for Spiritual Living Denver Facebook page and click on any post that says, And Now the Good News. New Thought Media Network has over 40 hours of weekly broadcast programs, including prayer time at 8:15 a.m. and p.m. every day, Wisdom of the Mystics and Finding the Joy in the Journey, along with New Thought Radio, to name just a few. They have also recently added a prayer time in Spanish, as well as 40 Days to Love in both Spanish and English. We invite you to go to www.ntmedia.org and check out what they have. There's something for everyone. We have fellowship afterwards. We have hot tea. We've got coffee. We've got some cookies. And there are some Science of Mind magazines that you are free to take. These, we collected these over COVID because they kept coming to my house. And we didn't cancel it. So I'm bringing more new ones in next week. So please help yourselves. If you want to put a couple bucks in the jar, that's fine. If not, that's fine. It's our gift to you. Welcome to March. The weather people say that it's one of the snowiest months of the year, so buckle up. And we know that as we move through this year and all the experiences that it holds, the divine beloved is guiding and loving each and every one of us. We so look forward to meeting in person every Sunday as well as online. So let's close out now with Chris Chickering singing A Prayer for Who We Really Are. And please join us for fellowship.
This is a prayer for the love within us. This is a prayer to release our hearts. This is a prayer that we carry with us. This is a prayer for who we really are. We are light, we are sunshine, we are what we believe. We are hope, we are promise of everything that's yet to be. We are bliss, we are laughter, we are flowers in the spring. We are life, ever flowing, and these are the words that we will sing. This is a prayer for the love within us. This is a prayer to release our hearts. This is a prayer that we carry with us. This is a prayer for who we really are. We are strong, we are
are fearless. We find the comfort in our souls. We are real. We are open to the destiny that's ours to hold. This is a prayer for the love within us. This is a prayer to release our hearts. This is a prayer that we carry with us. This is a prayer for who we really are. We are here, we are present in every moment that we breathe. We are peace, we are freedom, and this is a song for you and me. Yeah, this is a prayer for the love within us. This is a prayer to release our hearts. This is a prayer that we carry with us. This is a prayer for who we really. This is a prayer for the love within us. This is a prayer to release our hearts. This is a prayer that we carry with us. This is a prayer for who we really are. Who we really are. Who we really are.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.